Right, so I'm gonna use my animation scene here. As you can see, the camera goes around that cool building. And I'm gonna go here to frame 200, open my rendering setup. As you can see here, we're gonna use two elements to render this and get a little bit better understanding of how the lighting in GI works. Now let's open quick settings. Let's switch to exterior, and here let's do the irradiance map and brute force fast. Lower the quality here to about 16 and bump the GI to 90. Right, now let's render a single frame. Alright, and the image was done. The render went, but pre-calculation took some time. So I'm gonna go to my GI here, irradiance map, and we can see here we have 162,215 samples, and this map took 23 megabytes. So let's click save. Let's call it irradiance map anim. Click save. Now we can type in here irradiance map viewer, open this and locate our irradiance map. Voila. So you can see that we have it here. Now if we switch this from file and load this map back again, and if we hit render, you can see that the render just runs without the pre-calculation, and it's rendering. It's pretty fast and pretty clean. However, if we move a little bit to the side and render it, you can see that we're missing GI here. I mean, some of them still present from the previous one, so let's move a little bit further, like 160 somewhere here. So you can see that we are missing a lot of GI, and the GI is only that we see that it was rendered in that part right here, and here it's all broken because it's taken it from the file, but there is no information that's been built for that part of the scene. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to switch this, add to incremental to current map, and the destination is here of that map. We're gonna go to global switches, gonna click don't render final image, and in common we're gonna switch the range from 60 to 230, all that rotation fly through around the building, and every 9th frame we're gonna put 17. So here we're gonna calculate every 17th frame, don't render final image, and add to incremental map. Now for my purpose of testing, I'm gonna lower the GI to about 10. Well, 9 is okay. Alright, so make sure active to segment is up every 17th frame, and GI add to incremental. Let's click render, click yes. So you can see how quickly it moves through the animation, and it skips 17 frames, just enough to gather the entire irradiance map pre-calc. Alright, so it was done, 79 megabyte for this guy, and let's save it, and let's call it fly through anim. Click save. Now what we can do, we can get it from file and make sure we're loading this. Open. Now we go back and deactivate don't render final image because we want to render all the images, and we're gonna do active segment, and here we need to switch to 1, and in the GI we don't need the brute force, so we can set it up to none. Now before we render, let's launch our Irradiance map viewer and check this fly through animation. So we can see that it got mapped the entire path. You can see how the GI solution covering where our camera is flying through. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm gonna close this, and in common I need to switch here to test, create new folder, call it fly through anim, and inside here let's save this as JPEG. Let's make sure it's best quality, okay, and hit render. I'm gonna stop it and increase my AA a little bit, about 32, because I'm getting some artifacts here, and click render. Right, and render was done. Let's see how it came out. Alright, we can see that we almost don't have any flickering, even though the GI is very low. I mean, the camera moves pretty fast, so we don't really see the artifacts that we actually have here. And for 1 hour of render, that's pretty good, just to get a test out of it. I'm actually going to do a higher version of that. Let's render, let's save solution with a 90 GI and see how this works. Don't render final image every 17th. Let's do add to incremental current map and render. Oh, and we need to disable that, so we will not save anything. Alright, so this pre-calculation gonna take some time, even though we're rendering only 11 frames. From our last test it was 4 minutes. So I'm gonna leave it and I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Alright guys, so the render was done. It took 14 hours and 13 minutes for that sequence, and we can see GI, it's a little bit overexposed. I'm guessing that Chaos Group, when they were setting up their lighting, they were using the override material, which shows just the pure gray color, and this white panel's getting a little bit overexposed. But the sun, the V-Ray lighting looks pretty sharp here. We don't see any artifacts. Let's go check out the sample here of production. Open it with DJ View. And voila. It's looking pretty good. Nothing flickers. 10 seconds of HD animation was rendered in 14 hours. And that's pretty good. Alright, so this is an update of that animation fly through. Go check out the next tutorials about V-Ray physical camera.